Hey, how's it going, everybody? Do you like Star Wars? Because we do too. Welcome to Nerd Out Nerd Style. I'm Clinton Ritchie.
I'm James, aka Tater Nuts 99.
And get ready to nerd out with the book of Darth Plagueis.
Commander Kennedy, the time has come. Execute Order 66.
Those born of Mandalore strayed away from the path. Eventually, the Imperial interlopers destroyed all that we knew and loved in the Night of 1,000 Tears.
It's well hidden and unstable. One blast to any part of it will destroy the entire station. Oh, it's beautiful.
So the book takes place from 67 to 65 BBY, which is roughly 47 years before Palpatine takes over the Senate, into his first galactic empire. But anyway, so that's where we are on this.
Well, kind of, and it ends in the middle of the first movie. All right, Star Wars Episode 1. Or at the end of the first movie, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it ends. It ends like after the first movie, and like just before the events of the rest of Anakin's life.
Oh, I thought it
Oh,
was,
no,
I thought like kind of,
it's about at the it ends after the first movie.
yeah, but barely.
Yeah.
I thought it was still the first movie, but yeah, no, it does because the funeral and everything. Yeah, so you're right. Go ahead.
So man, I didn't realize. Okay, I knew Plagueis could live for a while and had lived for a while, but I didn't realize that he was an apprentice to his master for the standard lifetime of a human life. I didn't understand that. I didn't know that at first. That blew me away.
Yeah, yeah, because wasn't he like 100 whenever he met when he met
He was
Plagueis?
over 100
Yeah, he said
when he met
around 100,
Sidious.
100. Yeah, he said about 100 in your standard light years or life years,
Yeah. So
human life year.
that's pretty crazy. I didn't realize that, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, he was old when he died. Oh, he's like 100 and I think he's like 120 something. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
It could be like 140 something. I can't remember.
And of course, he's an illegitimate child, too. So his father was a Sith Lord, right? Or
Uh,
was he just powerful in the Force?
his father was
Because his father had a mistress,
his
which
fa-
was his mom,
his, his
Plagueis'
father
mom.
was a his father was a piece of crap, is what he was.
Yeah.
I don't think he had force powers at all. I think he was just a rich stuck up guy. The person that probably sent him the baby because he didn't believe that that was his kid or whatever. Uh, she had force powers probably, but you never know. It can always just pop into like non-force families as well.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that that happens actually a lot. The Force chooses the child who it wants to give all the midichlorians to, and like it said in the book as well, even if you have a high midichlorian count, that doesn't mean that you're going to be strong in the Force. It's just more likely that you will. Another thing I didn't know about Plagueis, I didn't know he could actually see the midichlorians coming in and out of people's bodies as they died, and we found that out whenever he killed his teacher,
Yeah.
master.
Yeah. Tenebris.
Yeah, Tenebris. You can literally see the midichlorians leaving his body, which I thought was very interesting.
So Plagueis thought that metachlorines was interlopers running interference for the Force. In reality, metachlorines was translators of the will of the Force. And so that was pretty neat because a lot of different people give different like ideas of what the Force is, and his idea was something pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, but the fact that he could see him, uh, do you think that Palpatine learned how to see him as well, or do you think that maybe it was only the Mune? I'm sorry, that's Plagueis. That's what species he is.
I don't know, man. Because Sidious doesn't specify what abilities he has or doesn't have. We just know that he has the charm to charm people to get them to do in
Oh, you talking about
his
Sidious?
bidding. Yeah.
Another thing I didn't really understand is that when Bane put this into order, you were supposed to kill your master because you were supposed to be stronger than him. You were supposed to be stronger to be able to take over the master's position. Tenebris did it sneaky. He killed him with the collapse in, but he did trick him in his mind, thinking that he was his sorry, he did trick him in his mind to like make him think that he's a loyal Padawan, but he's not. He's gonna murderous intents were always in the back of his head, but he clouded his mind to not see that. So that is something, but he did not
Well, I
kill
find it
him directly. So like he's not stronger than his master. And
right.
also Plagueis did this. I mean, Sidious kind of did the same thing. He didn't kill him on a one-on-one, but yet he tries to say that he's the strongest Sith Lord. So it's like, is he though?
But I was amazed that in the book it says that they were told by the Force, now is your time. Do it now. And so that's when they both killed their
The
master.
dark
Both,
side was speaking to them.
yeah,
Yes.
both Plagueis and Sidious. That's how they knew to kill their master at that time.
Right. It was pretty interesting.
It's pretty funny though because for a while, towards the end of the book, it Sidious and Plagueis was growing stronger, both growing stronger in the Force and their Force capabilities, and it got so advanced for Plagueis that he didn't even sleep. He didn't sleep
Yeah.
for 20
Well,
years.
he said that at the very beginning of the book, Tenebris also didn't sleep, and Plagueis didn't understand how he could be so in tune with the dark side that he could stay up for days. I think he said that the longest he's seen his master up was like 9 days or something like that.
But he did it for 20 years.
20 years, dude. That's crazy.
Could you imagine, like, constantly being up every day for 20
Well,
years?
that's after he found out how to manipulate the midichlorians.
Right.
Like with that one guy, he literally told the midichlorians to leave the dude's body, and he just slowly died.
With the, what is it, the guy over Coruscant? Or no,
Yeah,
the guy over
somewhere.
the senator from Naboo? Or the
No, I think it
chancellor?
was it might have been, but I thought that was Valorum, and Valorum was still alive.
I don't know, but he killed
No, oh yeah, it was the person that was messing with the
the king of
oil,
Naboo.
not the oil, but the plasma that they had on the
Hmm.
planet. It was that dude.
Yeah, and he said, "I'm." He said, "You." He said, "I feel funny." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm telling the Metachlorans to leave. You're slowly dying by losing the Force."
Yep, you might feel like you're all of a sudden getting tired, but this is what's actually going on.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was awesome, dude. Plagueis was a fucking badass, man. And like the way he died is stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
A fun fact, and I'm gonna just double check it right quick. So it was 132 BBY. So like that's what 90 years? No, 70 years, 70, 60 years. So it's 60 years roughly before the Book of Plagueis is the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there
No,
isn't
no. Plague at the Acolyte's 100 years.
132 years BBY.
No,
And the
it's
book
a
is 67.
it's 100. The Acolyte's 100 BBY.
100 years before the events of Episode 1.
The Battle of Yevon.
That's not Episode
That's
1.
not episode.
The Battle of
No, that's not.
Yevon is like, what,
Yeah.
Episode 4 or 5, 6?
Look.
Anyway, the Acolyte
Okay,
is
now
set.
it says it this time before the Phantom Menace, but I swear I looked it up like multiple times and it said before the Battle of Yevon because people kept on saying that on YouTube and then I kept Googling it.
It says here the Acolyte is set in the Star Wars timeline around 132 BBY, which is 100 years before the events of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I think they did that. I think they changed it. At first, it was not like that, but I'm pretty sure that they changed the timeline to match that
Mm-hmm.
because Plagueis, they put Plagueis in it and they were, otherwise, he would have been like 20. And that just wouldn't have made any sense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's what I kept saying because I kept looking it up. I kept looking it up because I kept hearing people say exactly what you're saying. And every time I looked it up, it said BBY. So I just kept on thinking it was BBY, but apparently I was wrong. Sidious. He grew up in a family that was very loving, except his dad hated him.
Yeah.
But his mom, I think his mom was pretty nice.
I don't think his dad hated him.
No, his dad hated him. He like despised him because he didn't know where the fuck he came from.
No, you're thinking of Palpatine's dad.
That's what I said, Sidious.
Oh, I thought you said Plagueis. My bad.
I said Plagueis at first, then I said, Sidious. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
He like despised them.
He hated him since birth.
But he liked his brothers, right?
Well, I'm sure.
Did he-
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Didn't Palpatine have brothers? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of them died. They don't. Oh yeah, they died in like a car crash or something, right?
No, that was Sidious's friend, Palpatine's friend,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
his mentor.
And if anybody's wondering what happened to Sidious's parents, Palpatine, well, Palpatine murdered them. So just
So-
throw that out there.
So here's a fun fact. So how Plagueis and what I was always curious about, since I was little, or since we watched Star Wars and stuff, what I was always curious about is how did Plagueis and how did Sidious come to be together, and in the book, Plagueis is actually looking for another apprentice in the dark side, so that way, he can have somebody to train. And
Yeah, Plagueis actually had multiple.
well, it was
well,
the other
Tenebrous
Biff.
did.
No, the other Biff.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I can't remember his name.
Oh, Darth.
Starts with a T. I can't remember though.
I forget his name now, but yeah, I don't even think I wrote it down here. But anyways,
Yeah, Plagueis had another not Plagueis, Tenebrous had another Biff, which is Tenebrous' species.
yeah,
He had another Biff as an acolyte that he was also training in case Plagueis failed, then I think he was going to have them both fight, and then whoever won was going to be his apprentice. So he was doing some sneaky shit.
right. But yeah. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So what happened is that Plagueis was talking about trying to know somebody was, I forget exactly how that happened, but Naboo came up and that they was trying to reach out to sell their resources, their plasma, because
Yep.
they didn't want to sell it, and then someone else decided, hey, let's sell it. This is valuable resources. We can be part of the bigger scheme of the plans of the universe,
Well,
And
Plagueis tried talking the Palpatine's dad into doing that.
right.
And that's the whole reason he even showed up on that planet, to find Palpatine in the first place.
Well, Palpatine sent them like, hey, this is what's going on behind closed doors that you can't see. Like these are the actions that are happening and y'all don't see it, but this is what really needs to happen, and And so Plagueis
Yeah.
wanted to meet him because he's like, who do I owe thanks to? I want to meet this Palpatine. And so yeah, that's exactly how it started.
Well, they wanted to get a spy for the inside, and whoever leaked that information, they were hoping that they could turn to their side
Right.
and then maybe get some more information on it. Yeah, that's right. And then once that actually happened, and he saw who leaked it, it was this little boy who was very strong in the Force. Remember, Plagueis can see midichlorians in people. He can literally see them.
Yeah, but
He knew that.
they never specified that he could see metachlorians because you have to be. He couldn't
Yes,
even sense
yes.
anything in Plague Palpatine. He couldn't
He
sense
said,
anything because he was so shrouded. Palpatine was so imbued in the Force that you couldn't peer into his see what he was. 'Cause,
yes, you're right about that. If he like he did like cloak himself very well,
well,
which
like
is weird, which is already weird
he
for
had
a
like a
little.
natural barrier to protect himself from being seen in Force sensitives.
Okay, yeah. So he might not have seen Sidious's,
But
but like somehow he knew he was strong in the Force.
he knew he was interesting, right? Because when he arrives on Naboo, he's like, "This is a virgin in the Force. This is something like the Force sent me here." And it was to meet Plagueis, or not Plagueis, but Palpatine.
Yeah, the damn peas and
Yeah.
the
Well, he go to
S's.
Moss. How about that? We could do that. He go to Moss.
Hugo Damas, which is Plagueis,
Yeah,
or we could just call
that's his name.
Sidious and Plagueis.
Yeah, but Sidious doesn't turn to
So
Sidious until midway through the book.
yeah, but
Or I say
everybody
midway,
knows him
quarter
as
way.
Sidious.
Yeah. So, anyways, moving on. So, yeah, he gets there and he goes on this ride and he asks, Sidious says, "Hey, Palpatine, do you don't, what's your plans?" He's like, "Well, I don't know what my plans are." And he said, "Do you want to be in the Senate? Do you want to do that?" He's like, "No, not really."
He's like, "Do you want to kill your dad?"
No, he didn't say that. And, and so he's like, "Well, you seem
He
like you
kind
have
of
a pretty
does.
good head on your shoulders. So why don't you do that?" He's like, "Well, I don't want to do that. I want to rule. I don't want to be a little peasant. I want to rule."
His dad tries separating them, and he's like, you could just emancipate yourself.
But yeah, so his emancipation was when his father tried to take him away, and he ends up losing his mind and killing his father, and then
He
killing
didn't
his
lose his
mom and his
mind. He knew
brothers and
exactly
sisters.
what the fuck he was doing. He was
Well,
pissed. And they were already talking about emancipation. Like,
he
what did you think he was implying right there? He already said, like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do that. And he's like, well, I
he
think
let
you
his
can find a
darkness
way.
he let his darkness override.
He said, go kill your fucking parents. Is
He
what he
didn't say
said.
that. He didn't. Plagueis did not say go kill your parents. Plagueis is like, well, there's ways around things.
He definitely implied it because after it happened, the first person he called was Plagueis.
Of
Plagueis had him
course,
go hide somewhere. He didn't see him for like 5 weeks or 5 months. I can't remember what it
it was
was.
like a week.
Yeah, 5 days maybe. I can't remember. Anyways, he finally sees him, and Palpatine automatically accuses him of talking him into killing his parents. And he's like, I never said that, just like you just said.
Yeah.
But he heavily implied it.
Well, it was. I don't know if it implied. That's a strong assumption. I don't think it was implied. But yeah, man.
Do you want to learn the ways of the dark side?
But so yeah, he tells him. He's like, "Oh, Sidious was so innocent and sweet about how he's like, well, I did something bad. I killed him with my mind." And he's like,
No, he was not innocent and sad. He definitely knew what the fuck he did. He started crying afterwards,
yeah.
but Plagueis made him feed on that, relive it over and over again. Tell me again how you killed your parents. Tell me in deep, deep detail. Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, man. So I thought something was pretty cool. Plagueis Plagueis did say that he would outlive anyone who challenged him. Well, if you think about it, if you really do think about it, he did outlive everybody that challenged him. All the nuclear bombs they dropped on his place, the assassination attempt with
Yeah.
the meeting. Uh, the only one he didn't outlive was Palpatine. But did Palpatine really challenge him, or did Palpatine
No.
just take a low blow and shock the shit out of his breather apparatus?
While he was asleep.
For the first time in 20 years, he falls asleep, and then Palpatine's there to fucking kill him.
And you know how he falls asleep? Fucking
Drunk.
bored as shit of fucking Palpatine talking.
The Force was not strong enough to keep him awake.
It's like, just one more time. Listen, just one more time, Master.
It's funny because Plagueis said that he would not rest until they had the victory assured. And then he's like telling Palpatine, he's like, "Hey, I think I'm tired, man. I'm gonna take a nap." And like the results
he
the
never
next
said
day.
that.
He didn't say it, but that's what happened basically. He was passed out, right? And they're like, "Okay, man." And he's like, "I thought you said you wasn't gonna fall asleep or take a nap or rest. You wasn't gonna rest until we won." And he's like, "Oh, that's right." And he's like, Sidious's like, "Droid, another glass." And so they drink, and he gets so drunk he falls asleep.
Yeah, I guess so. That did happen.
But
He was passing out. I thought you said you weren't going to rest until we've won, Master. Okay, let's go over this one more time. Fucking, he's having to listen to a speech that Palpatine's going to be giving as being an inauguration for his inauguration into the Senate, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
or to become the Chancellor Supreme.
Chancellor. Yeah, no, not the Supreme Chancellor.
Yeah.
Just the Chancellor of Naboo.
Oh yeah, maybe so.
Yeah,
But anyhow,
he was taking the spot from Chancellor Valorum.
so somewhere in chapter 4, when I heard this, I was like, "Oh my god, that sounds amazing!" In chapter 4, Plagueis absorbed a volley of blaster bolts, and I was like, "What?" He stuck his hand out. I guess during one of the assassination attempts, he stuck his hand out and fucking absorbed the blaster bolts. No, that was in the when he took the ship over, getting off that planet.
I
That
can't remember,
freighter
but I
ship.
do remember hearing it.
The
So
freighter
I
ship.
do know it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, when he was fighting all those dudes, and they're like, "Oh, let's
I
get
can't-
rid of them because they were bitches."
Yeah, I just can't remember when that happened. Now, another thing I really liked about this movie, sorry, not movie. When you listen to it, like you picture stuff in your head, and it kind of seems like a movie. But anyways, Palpatine is very clever, and you do see that not Palpatine only, but Plagueis. So they were able to put this entire motion into action. Like they had to take over certain things. They pretty much said Bane's way is over. There's no more strength. We're not going to be the Sith of strength anymore. We're going to be the Sith of cunning. Pretty much, we're not going to be searching for power. We're going to be searching for politics. They got into the politics super quick and were able to change stuff very fast, mainly because Plagueis is part of the Banky clan and had a bunch of power over everybody.
Yeah.
mainly by choking them. But other than that, like that's how he got most of his power.
But I didn't know this, but Plagueis, he had a meeting kind of like the Senate did with all the high rollers, and planned out who was doing what where. Like that
Yeah.
was pretty fucking cool. Okay, and then that's how he came to the understanding of Palpatine. But yeah, like I didn't realize that, but that's how he had his meetings. He had meetings like once a month or some shit where he would just go in there and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to invest in the Trade Federation. The Trade Federation is going to do this now. And
Dude, once you listen to this as well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no,
Go
you're
ahead.
fine. No, you're fine.
The Trade Federation was so new to be Palpatine being in charge, and whenever episode 1 was happening, whenever they put the blockade in front of Naboo, and Anakin had to go in there and blow up the blockade and blah blah blah. Little hotshot flew his plane to save the day. Well, anyways, that was their very first time being controlled by Palpatine,
Mm-hmm.
and the only reason that happened was because he revealed himself that he was a Sith Lord to him. Because at first they were like, I'm not gonna do that, and he was like, okay, well, we'll talk again. And then he literally said, "Where's your pilot? Can you show him to me?" And choked him through the Force.
No, he didn't choke anybody through the Force.
Yes, he did, dude.
You talking about when Sidious revealed himself to Newt Gunray?
Yeah.
Dude, he was talking about the bird.
Oh yeah, sorry, it was a bird. He started.
And he
He was
didn't. He
choking the
actually
bird.
choked the bird. He said that Newt Gunray was like a bitch he is. He's like, no, don't
I
choke
could
my
have sworn he
bird.
said pilot.
No, it was a parrot or some shit. Or
Oh.
it's a bird. Yeah.
I thought he was saying
See,
pilot.
the bird to Newt Gunray represent high class and
Yeah, yeah, I
whatnot.
do remember. I do remember hearing him saying that he could kill the bird,
Mm-hmm.
and then I thought he choked the pilot.
No,
Okay,
I don't think
I
that's
was
how.
I
I don't
was
think
wrong.
that's how that went. I mean, I
I
could be
do
wrong, but I don't think that's
I
how
do
it
have
went.
to pause it. I do have to pause it constantly. So
Yeah.
like I'm talking to people every now and then. I'll hit the play button. Somebody will say something, and they're like, "What?" And I have to pause it. So I could have sworn that happened though. But yeah, anyways, he was doing it through the Force just because he could see it, and he does that in one of the movies as well. Palpatine is pretty strong.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that he's. Thank you, baby. I'm not going to say that he is the strongest Sith ever, because I doubt it. I feel like there was way stronger Sith out there. They just never were as cunning, and they never had the Senate. Like they were never in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, I didn't know it. But Biff's, which is Tenebrous and the other guy, Tenebrous' other apprentice.
Yeah, yeah.
But they are birthed by a computer mating service.
Yeah, they're all bioengineered.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
crazy, right? Like, dude. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
too crazy to our today's standards for
Yeah,
some.
we're getting there.
Yeah,
We're getting
but
there.
like
dude.
it's pretty crazy though. Like I didn't know they had that
That's how.
in
To
Star
be
Wars.
honest, let's put a little bit of backstory with Tenebris. What he was actually doing was how Plagueis was trying to figure out how to create life through the Force. Tenebris was doing the same thing, but he was doing it by cloning stuff, by like growing things to try and make it have the Force. That way, he could grow the perfect apprentice, or maybe even himself, so he could live forever.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Plagueis was doing the same thing, except what he did was he found out how to manipulate the midichlorians inside people. So whenever people were dying, he could bring them back to life by making the midichlorians restart the organs and heal the stuff that needed to be healed and blah blah blah, which he started doing to himself after he got all fucked up. He like lost half of his jaw and all kinds of others, like 2 hearts in an assassination attempt. They have 3 hearts, so he was
The
still
mutants.
alive.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was able to heal himself pretty much almost back to full just by controlling his midichlorians.
Yeah.
Something I don't know if he taught Palpatine as well.
I
That's
don't
another
think he
thing.
did.
Yeah. I think well,
But he did
he
leave.
said no, hold on. He did say at the end while he was killing Plagueis, he said he could make the midichlorians go back in and save his life if he wanted to, but he's not going to.
Yeah. But he did say that he was going to leave all his research to him. After a certain point in the book, towards the end, Plagueis does bring him into his laboratory, where he has all his research and stuff. But I thought he
Yeah.
ended up getting rid of the research doing something away with it.
He did at like towards like the very end.
Yeah. So I mean, but Palpatine does understand what he was doing. You know what I mean? Like I think he does understand and have a grasp of
Well, he sat there and
the
watched
understanding.
him kill. I can't remember the fucking the other the other Biff's name. I can't remember his name, but they killed him over and over again and
Hmm.
brought him back to life over and over again.
Until his
And then he
organs failed.
started, yeah, until his organs completely, failed. And then that's how he ended up healing himself. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well,
everything else I
in
just said.
Plagueis' eyes, which was really cool to me, in Plagueis' eyes, he couldn't prolong his own life, but he can prolong someone else's life. And if he could teach Palpatine the same trick, then Palpatine can in turn prolong his life.
Yeah, but Palpatine
Plagueis'
never wanted to share the seat.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I had something else I was going to say too about it.
what's that?
I can't remember, dude. Fucking bullshit.
Did you
ADHD.
know that on Tatooine? Now I didn't know this about the planet at all, and I'm sure it's part of the expanded universe. But on Tatooine, it says here,
You
beings
didn't
that
watch.
reside on Tatooine age prematurely,
Oh
and
yeah,
that
yeah,
ancient Sith had an outpost there as well.
yeah.
That's
Not
fucking
only
cool.
not only the ancient Sith, the Rakata also had other stuff there as well that had ancient technology that fucked with the planet.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why Shmi always looks so old after 10 years. Because on the first 10 years she looked really young, right? On the first movie she looked pretty young, and then the
Mhm.
second movie she looked like she aged like 25, 30 years, and in turn that's what happens is that they look really old. And if you think
Well,
about it,
old
hold on,
Ben
if you
Kenobi looked old as shit.
right, Kenobi looked old as shit. Lars, he looked old as
Hmm.
shit. Okay, the Luke's uncle.
Hmm.
Okay, because Luke is like what, 20, 18, 19, 20.
19,
Okay,
19.
and so and when he was sent there, Lars was still a young man. But in episode 4, Lars is old as shit. So
Yeah, I mean, they did have different actors, so people did look older back in
I
the day for
get
some
that,
reason.
dude. I don't care. But look, the point is, Shmi looked old as shit. So the story stands, fucker.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So hot now that I'm older. I mean, maybe not so hot. Like in episode one, dude, she looked pretty good. And whenever I was younger, I was like, she's ugly. Maybe it's like one of those things. Like after you see their face so many times, it's like starts to look better for you.
right,
It's
venomous.
got to be. Venomous is actually the other Biff that we were talking about. The one that's just like Tenebris. That's Tenebris's other acolyte. The one that he actually challenged Plagueis at one point, which we didn't cover. And Plagueis beat him. Well, after beating him, he fucking took him and stuck him in like this little tube where he killed him over and over again, manipulating the midichlorians that we were just talking about. Boom.
Yeah.
That's
So
his name.
when he was fighting Venomous, okay, when he was fighting Venomous, do you remember in the Acolyte when what's his name, the guy the one that was trying to train the girls?
I'm here.
Yeah, Chimera. Do you remember that he could fly?
Yeah, I fucking hate that.
Okay, well, Venomous stayed in the air after Plagueis cut one of the branches down. So, I'll
No, you can hover for a second. You can't like a lot of times it's just like you force push up and like
mm-hmm.
they float in the air for a second and then they go down.
Well, it
Otherwise,
says
Venomous would have just float away, like flew away.
yeah. Well, it said in the book that beings could use different types of force abilities.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just never heard of anybody flying. Otherwise, like why the fuck didn't Anakin do that whenever he's fighting Obi-Wan? He's like, "You underestimate my power," and he flies around like
Flies.
fucking Voldemort. Holy
Yeah.
shit! You can fly. Sorry.
Nah, it's all right, man.
It's possible. I mean, we never know.
So, I got something I want to talk about, man. Um, so in the new movies, 7, 8, and 9, Ray's parents are nobodies. Okay, but her parents aren't nobodies because one of them was Palpatine's child.
Yeah, I
That's a
mean,
huge fucking deal. I mean, monumental thing, right?
I don't really, I don't care about those movies. Why are we talking
I know
about
you don't
those?
care about it, but it's in Star Wars, so it's here now. We'll talk about it.
Well, we're talking about the Plagueis book,
I
not
get
goddamn.
that, but I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up. So in Plagueis, in the book, in chapter 14, uh, he's about 28 years old, and this takes place about 54 to 52 years BBY. Uh, in the politics for 7 years now, a dark-haired human beauty with big blue eyes. She was attached in some ways to the Ariandan consulate on a Malistar. She was like, "Oh, you're basically turning on to him, and was trying to
Oh,
see
you think it might be her
could be,
as the mother?
yeah,
Like at some point he hooked
a
up with
mother
her.
to one of the children." And she's like, "I'm just curious. Are you the kind of guy
Well,
that makes friends, or do you not have that?" He's like, "Oh, I love having friends." And she's like, "Good." And then she slides him her card. I don't know if it's a hotel room key or what. It's a flimsy card, and says, "I'll be free after midnight."
what I'm thinking, dude, is you need to read the book that talks about Ray's past. It's
Wait, there's
out
a
there. I
book
just
on Ray's past.
well, there's a book on I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
But that's why I was like, I wonder if this could be because he ends up giving a card to that guy next to him, right? And the guy was like, "Oh, I'm not that desperate," but yet it doesn't specify Palpatine did or didn't have relations. You know what I mean?
Ray's father is a failed clone of the Emperor Palpatine, named Dathan. This information is further expanded upon the novel Shadow of the Sith, which provides more detail about his life and relationship with Ray's mother. So
So, so
he was a
she's the
failed clone of Palpatine
she's
because
the off. Sorry.
Palpatine was trying to make clones of himself to have the Force. Well, he made he made a bunch of perfect clones. I guess he just didn't kill them all or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one that didn't have the Force. Or either that or maybe he did, but and he just went down there like he just had like a little bit of the Force, and then when she was born, she had a lot of it. I don't know. Like it said, more detail in the book though.
Yeah.
Told you it was in a book.
So maybe not. Maybe it's just a clone, and that's all there is to it. That sucks.
Yep.
But I mean, whatever.
There's so many books out there, dude. I fucking love Star Wars books, and I own like 20 something of them. I want to get more. I need to get more. James needs to. We need to go over more of these books, in my opinion.
I've been doing it.
No, I mean like we're doing like right now. I would love to talk
Oh.
about them.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But man, so
Mando.
Mando, yes, yes, sir. But anyways, moving on. So I didn't know this, but the Sith before Palpatine, they went to a planet called Kershid, and
Yeah.
for 600 years, expunged. Expunged. I don't know why I got that down. Um, the Republic. I guess it came off the Republic. But anyway, the it's a primitive people there, right? it's cult-like society, the whole planet, right? And worshipped the Sith.
Yeah, yeah, because
That's
they would
cool.
show up, there every now and like pretty much perform godlike stunts in front of them. And
Right.
since they were a primitive species, they worshipped them.
Like deities. From my understanding, that the Sith would take their apprentices there to show their force. And instead of using lightsabers, they use force pikes. That way it don't kill
Yeah,
everybody, but it
and
does.
and they don't learn about the like that way. Like if anybody ever showed up there, they don't have no kind of like secret about people wielding a lightsaber.
Right. So, yeah, anyways, and then once they defeat the battle, once they win in the battle, they kill one of them. And Plagueis says, kill one, frighten 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says, he takes the beating heart out of the dude's chest, man, and holds it
While
up
it's
and like,
still
"Arr." I'm like, dude,
while it's still beating for a couple seconds
that's
before it
so
stops.
badass, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That is utterly fucking cool.
It's pretty badass. And every time they go there, they're like worshipped like gods.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty cool.
But but no, I just thought that was pretty neat because that shows some of the Sith training, like, like
Well, not only just that training. Remember what he did with Sidious at the beginning? He like made him pretty much starve and like try and climb up this mountain in the freezing cold or something like
mm-hmm.
that. And
Well, the idea behind that is take, say if this person's a hot natured person, like, and they're used to like the Bahamas, put them in freezing cold. And if they're
Yep.
a cold natured person like living in Alaska, they take them and put them in a desert. And
Yep.
so, and the reason for that to be is it strengthens them to rely on the Force, to call upon the Force, but you're not supposed to use the Force when doing it. You're
Yep.
supposed to bring your body to the brink of like death, basically.
Yep. And use the force to keep yourself alive. Not use the force to like I don't know. It's literally you're using the force, you're using the dark side, you're relying on the dark side power, which I think makes your eyes turn yellow.
Yeah.
That's that part.
But
Because think about it, it only happens to Anakin whenever he gets like you can do it all the time if you want to, but like Anakin gets cut in half and he has to use the dark side to survive, and his eyes turn yellow. After Palpatine gets shocked, he always has to use the dark side to try and survive, so his eyes are yellow. Um, fucking
oh, that's
Maul,
something I want to
Maul,
talk about too.
Maul was already trained like that, and he didn't give a shit about letting his. He wasn't able to hold his dark side tendencies inside because he wasn't actually ever trained. That you find that out in the book,
Well, he
and
was trained to kill, but not trained to
yes,
mingle, not to blend in with society.
right. So his like dark side tendencies were always kind of showing. That's why his eyes are always that color.
That's why he couldn't stay on Coruscant very long, especially around other Jedi, because they would know right away that he's a Sith.
Exactly.
But hey, I didn't know this, man. So the power, I don't know if I have it written down here, but in the lightning,
Oh yeah, he said that in order to use the lightning, you will probably have to be on the receiving end at some point, so your body can absorb the power itself.
yeah,
Which is kind of weird because I never knew that because Bane was just like,
and
"Rah."
and so
This
in
is cool.
they also said that I think it's a different teaching of a different time, because they also specified that they lost a lot of Sith teaching because some people tried to kill their master too early and they got
Oh yeah.
killed off, and then teachings
Well,
got lost.
and there was that one master that thought the Sith needed to stop relying on all the old teachings
Mm-hmm.
and thought that he should wipe out all the stuff before he was killed by his Padawan
Yeah.
or his
So
acolyte or whatever you want to call it.
so it says in the book that um Jedi had the ability to use an assembly of Force lightning. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, so Rey using Force lightning on the ship when she's having a power struggle between Kylo Ren and herself.
That's actual force lightning.
You think so?
That's why it blew up the ship. The other force lightning doesn't really do that much damage. Like it doesn't shock as much. It's like a little stun thing. The force lightning itself literally burns and shit like that. So she
Yeah.
blew up that ship. Therefore, it's definitely Sith lightning.
So I found that place about the wind and rain and whatnot. So let me hit this real quick. In chapter 24, on Aurora, which was still in the safekeeping where Text and Holocron still lived. You know what I mean? It hasn't been plundered by Jedi or bounty hunters or anything like that. So it says that Sith Lords could summon wind, rain, and lightning. Not like forest lightning, but lightning from the heaven, right?
Yeah.
And then a few Dark
So can
Lords
Yoda,
even
apparently.
claimed, huh?
So can Yoda, apparently.
Yeah. Anyway, a few Dark Lords even claimed that they could become invisible, transport themselves through space and time. Even they had the ability to fly. So that's fucking cool as shit. Okay,
Yeah. I didn't hear all that in the book.
that
That's
was
crazy.
chapter 24.
Have the ability to fly. I guess
Yeah,
that's fucking goddamn Chimera, apparently.
yeah. I mean, it's whatever, dude. But yeah, so they had when Plagueis was looking for his next apprentice, Venomous had like 4 or 5 apprentices lined up that he was keeping tracks on, and one of them was a Hitachi, that had the ability to make a techno union, like in the Book of Bane. Remember the techno union people or techno army? Not techno union,
Yeah,
but techno army.
it's even in the second movie and shit too.
Yeah. So, and so she was like, "Come to me, my children, if we want to be better than what you are, and be more of a purposeful cause." And so when Plagueis showed up to give like an interview, basically interviewer, she was like, "Oh, I knew you would come." And he's like, "No, no, no." And she's like, "No, you're coming for me, and I'm ready to join you, my lord. Like, what is thy
Whoa,
bidding?"
whoa. Come for me. What are
No,
you talking
no,
about?
you can't. She knew
I'm ready to come with you.
she knew that Plagueis was there for her. That's why she was trying to build an army for him.
Oh yeah. You talking
Yeah,
about
I'm talking
what
about
are
the
you talking
Hitachi
about?
in chapter 8. That was cool. I just thought it was really neat because it talked a little bit more, not really in depth, but it talked a little bit more about how beings could be turned into freaking techno armies by some people's abilities.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I must have missed like kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I probably skimmed over it or something. Or not skimmed over. I was probably pausing a bunch.
yeah. So yeah, man, that was cool. I thought that was cool. And that's actually before Palpatine, but I don't care. I just thought that was super neat. That I wrote
Yeah.
it down. It was so cool.
Well, I mean, it's called Darth Plagueis. So it's supposed to be about Plagueis. It's not supposed to be about Palpatine. But
Right,
it
right,
really gets good when Palpatine shows up.
right.
Even beforehand, it was also pretty cool because you could tell whenever the very first time he Tenebris or Plagueis left the Baldeminic.
Mhm.
Baldeminic. I can't remember how to say the name. Anyways, Baldeminic. Baldemic.
Yeah, that sounds more
Anyways,
right.
after he left that planet, he caught a ride with some random family or crew, really,
Right,
which he
freighter.
stuck. Yeah, which he stuck on board, and he didn't want to kill them. He just wanted to get there with no questions asked, and he was going to pay them
And
handsomely.
pay for their fucking shipment that he fucked off.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And instead, they wanted to be assholes, and he killed them all,
Yep.
just
Except for
like
the droid.
Darth Zana.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he killed he killed the droid afterwards.
No,
He told the droid to remain on board, and he got off and told them to
the
scrap
droid,
everything on.
the
He told
droid
them
is
to
the
scrap.
same droid. He's the same droid
He wanted them
as
to
the droid through
melt.
the entire book.
Okay, well, go re-listen to it. He
I
said
don't
to
need to.
remain on board. He said this is why I wanted to have like little clips.
I think
He
you
said
had
to
little clips.
no, I told you I couldn't re-listen to it. But anyways,
Oh.
he told them to remain on board, and then whenever he got off, he told the people that were watching it to melt it, and they said, "What about everything inside?" He said, "It doesn't matter." And
Well, he didn't want them to see the bodies.
he left the fucking
No,
robot.
the droid stayed with him.
Well, I think he just got another droid.
No,
We'll see.
no,
I'm
I'm
gonna look up
telling
that.
you.
I'm gonna
I'm
look up
telling
that
you.
part.
But let's move on. Uh, so yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you. So in the search of Palpatine's, like searching for like relics and stuff, he's on visiting worlds and stuff. He visited the Night Sister Dathomir. He visited the Night Sister's world
Yeah.
and was approached by a Night Sister,
Yep.
and she's like, "Hey," uh, he was confused because she's like just comes up to a random person, but she was looking for him. And she's like, "Hey, please take my child. He's force sensitive, and they're gonna kill him. He's stronger than his brother," which we now know that we know from the
Well,
movies and TV
it
shows.
wasn't that they were going to kill him. Pretty much, she didn't want him to get used for whatever the Night Sisters usually do with the guys, because a lot of them are sold into slavery.
Right. But yeah, so she's like, "Please take him. He'd have a better life somewhere else." And he didn't even have to pay for the child. He got the child for free.
Yep.
And so a
But
year later, he told Plagueis, and
what am I
Plagueis
going to
is,
do with this kid?
yeah. A year later, he told Plagueis that "Hey, I got this kid. And he's like, yeah, train him how to kill, and that way they can do his bidding."
Mhm.
But yeah, I just thought that was fucking cool. We got to hear and see, not really see, but hear about Maul's upbringing.
I think there's a mall book too. I don't know how long it is. And it's probably kind of cheap because it's probably short.
Apparently Maul's bullshit. He's a garbage Sith.
What?
He's a garbage Sith.
What do you mean?
He's trash.
Why do you say that? Why do you keep saying that?
He. Okay, so in one of the attacks, in one of the assassinations he did for Palpatine,
Oh, he got hurt. Yeah.
he got hurt and relishing in the fear.
He was only like 19, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hold
So
on.
I mean,
So
he hasn't
I'm
lived that
going.
long.
I'm going somewhere with this, and so he gets hurt like a injury on his hand, nothing major, right?
At that time, he was probably like 17.
But anyways, so Palpatine's like, "Don't ever do that. Just be direct. Kill him instant like that. That way, there's no chance for any recourse."
Yep.
And what was he doing with Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan
Kenobi?
Kenobi.
Arr,
I thought about
arr,
the same thing.
uh,
He should
uh,
have killed his
uh.
ass. You fucking already had this lesson, you dumb shit.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn, dude.
And so
Oh,
instead of
give me a second.
killing him,
Let me go ahead. Go ahead. I have to pee.
he's like, and doesn't do anything. Like he just allows him to come up with a game plan, and that's how he got
Yeah.
offed.
Well, honestly, like I said before,
Technically
he knew he kicked his lightsaber off. He probably completely forgot about fucking Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber, and so therefore, whenever he's going to flip over, he's like, "What are you going to do now?" But of course,
Yeah.
he had already brought the lightsaber to him.
Oh, in chapter 16, check this out, right? So in chapter 16, Kamino comes into play about making clones for Plagueis. He was wanting to use Inshuri at first because their ability to not take on force suggestions or force manipulation. That was fucking cool.
Yeah.
And they also had the ability to do like a force bubble. And if you have enough of them, they get like really close together or in close enough like synchronicity, uh, they can make a force bubble that engulfs like an entire planet.
Yeah.
That was fucking
Yeah.
cool, dude.
That was pretty cool.
But
I
unfortunately, the Kaminoans, they were like, yeah, that's really difficult to manipulate those guys,
well,
genetically.
not only that, they told them that it's impossible to manipulate the Force, make a Force sensitive
Yeah.
being in the first place. So there was that. But towards the end, she did tell him, and actually, Sifo Dyas was going to be the one to, I guess, take it to the Kaminoans.
Mm-hmm.
I think Palpatine talked him into that. I can't remember,
So, so
or was going to, but
Plagueis talked him into it.
if you listen to the Dooku book, dude, have you done that yet?
No.
Listen to the Dooku book and you find out what happens
Okay.
because there's stuff that happens in that.
Well, in this book, Plagueis talks to on multiple occasions talks to Saphidius, and it's like, hey man, blah blah, the powers, blah blah, manipulating them. And
Power of one.
shut up, dude. I don't want to hear that shit, please. Man, it's so bad. Power of the meanie. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. But anyway, so he force manipulates him into thinking that he needs an army in case somebody attacks. Because at some point it's gonna happen. He even said himself that the Jedi, the what do they call them, the temples, um the
The
council,
temple. The,
the council,
okay.
the council even
It's
says
like the
that they're
Sentinels.
no, the council even said that they're talking about a war coming.
Yeah.
And so, that was pretty cool, man. Uh, and we get to see a little bit of Qui Gon Jinn and Dooku action in this book. Not much, but just a smidgen.
Yeah, you could see Palpatine kind of working on Dooku the entire time. He runs into him every now and then, tries to talk to him, and then Dooku towards the end, he's like, "Oh, I want to do what you do, you know, go by, switch my name." He's like, "What do you mean by that?" And he's like, "Oh, go by another one. Whatever do you mean?" And he goes, "You know how you go by Palpatine." I'm gonna go by Dooku.
Oh man. So I wanna touch on this right here. In Chapter 21, Plagueis told Sidious that, do you think Gravity's young apprentice was hindered by the prosthesis she was forced to wear after fighting him? I guess she had limbs cut off, right? And so what the basic premise of that is that if you lose limbs, you don't lose the ability to manipulate the force.
No, you lose more midichlorians, so you're not as strong in the Force.
But we know from Plagueis' attempts that you gain metachlorians eventually
If you can grow them back.
if you can get them back.
Yeah, if
And
you're able to. Like
from this,
Plagueis was never able to reattach his chin.
right? Well,
So all the midichlorians that were in that spot of his chin got cut off.
yeah. So to me, it sounds like that he was getting metachlorians from killing other creatures, doing his experiments.
Well, like after you kill him, he'd bring the midichlorians to himself.
Like Vitiate.
Maybe, you know what, it did sound like that to me as well.
Yeah.
It did sound like that to me as well. So I'm gonna say maybe on that one. Because I thought that was really cool because the way he was able to manipulate them, like he could literally make the midichlorians leave somebody's body, and then he could like capture him for himself. It's
So
crazy.
I have to ask you now. So since I asked you, I said that. Do you think Anakin was actually weaker or not weaker by losing limbs?
He was weaker, but like the theory is Palpatine uh pulled the midichlorians from what's her face uh to
Oh,
keep
Padme.
Anakin alive. Yeah, to keep Anakin alive.
Oh, that's fucking
And
trippy.
transfer the midichlorians over into Anakin.
Oh, that's fucking trippy, dude.
That's why she was dying and like
Oh,
nobody knew why.
fun fact. Did you know that the
It's from a
baby
broken heart. Sorry, go
baby
ahead.
Leia and baby Luke is the same baby?
Oh, really? They did that?
Yeah. I
That's
was
cool.
cuz okay, so I have a proposed idea here. I haven't said nothing to anybody except my girlfriend. Um I would really love to see him reboot episodes 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6.
No.
Not 1, 2 and 3. I'm so sorry. Reboot 4, 5 and 6. And the reasons
Nope.
being for listen, the reason being for that is the Luke baby, which is a boy, okay? Uh he's the right age to be Luke as in episode 4. Vader, Obi-Wan's the right age to be Vader and Obi-Wan as in episode 4. Uh
Oh, you're talking about all the people that actually play Luke,
yeah.
Vader, and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean that makes sense. But
I
dude,
I
that
think
means we're gonna get rid of Mark Hamill,
you ain't getting rid
fucking.
of them, dude. You're having a reboot, and you can even name it Episode 4 Reimagined.
What's her face is dead now. She can't even play somebody. Carrie
But
Fisher.
I'm talking about like adding a new Leia
So
because
is
there was never a baby girl, and it was just a
yes, there
baby
was.
boy. And it was, but in
And
reality, in the
the
real world, there was only a
and the
baby
oh,
boy. He was portrayed as a
okay.
baby girl. You'd have
Well,
to. What I'm saying is, you'd have to
I thought
find
you
an
were talking
actress.
about from the Kenobi series.
Well, you can use those. That's fine too. I don't give a shit. But my point, they're not going to be old enough right now. That's the only bad thing.
Oh, well, then they got a couple years.
But my thing is, like, I think that would be fucking cool to see a reboot 4, 5, and 6. And today's technologies, today's CGI,
Yeah, but
no
you
buts,
know,
man.
losing Carrie Fisher, dude, and especially we won't
You're not using Carrie
we
Fisher.
won't get the slave outfit.
You're not. I don't care. You're not. You'd probably be
I
more
do.
sexier now.
No, I wish, but it's
I don't
gonna
know
be all
Disney.
CGI'd.
But I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, fuck
using
Disney, man.
real actors, replacing Carrie Fisher, replacing Mark Hamill. I'm not talking about using them at all. I'm talking about using different actors.
What is this?
What's what?
My face.
It's
If I was supposed to draw this,
sad?
yeah, it's a sad face. That's what
Okay.
you're giving me. Giving me a
So,
sad face, James.
well, I'm sorry you feel one way about it, but I feel another way about it. I think it'd be an
I know you
amazing
do.
adventure.
George Lucas has always like upgraded it through time, so it always kind of looks new.
I don't know, but episode
That
2,
movie does not look like it was made in 1977.
I got my girlfriend to watch episode 2 with me, okay? And one episode of the Clone Wars. All right.
Ah,
Yeah. And so I was like, the CGI for Jar Jar Binks does not pan out very well. It does not hold up.
that was a suit. The whole thing, except for
It
the
looks
top part,
it looks
except for the
gross.
head.
It looks gross.
They everything was a suit except for the head.
It looks as bad as when Jod Nana would. Anyways, when Jod Nana would was sitting there with the credits and they start showering down,
No, that
it
was
looks
so
that
bad,
bad.
dude.
It looks that bad.
That looked like a fucking faucet was running of gold. Like that was horrible. But yeah, back to the book, man. Jesus Christ. Are
But
we done with the book?
no, we got so much.
No, I mean we really don't. We cover like
Dude,
a lot of it. What exactly do we really miss on the book? Like we've
not
covered
much.
pretty much
Not
everything.
much.
The only thing I can think of is the fact that Gardula the Hutt was there,
Oh,
and they
oh
talked
fuck.
about her, but
Okay,
she had a bunch.
I'm so
Go
sorry, man.
ahead.
I'm gonna fuck your world up. I fucked my world up, man. So I always thought that like Sidious or Plagueis, one of the two, created Anakin.
Anakin,
They
I've
didn't.
already told you this.
They didn't.
I've already told you this.
What?
I told you this on our last episode that Plagueis and Sidious tried fucking with the Force, tried creating life, and that it never happened. But there was a vergence in the Force, or that caused a vergence in the Force for the Force to react, which makes me pregnant.
Yeah, but he did. Plagueis did create life with the Force. He did. It wasn't Force sensitive beings, but he created a lot of life with the Force.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he
Oh
even
yeah,
his
he
last
brought
attempt.
people back to life.
No, not just that, but his last attempt to create life with the Force, he reached out on a planet he was on and was like impregnating everything.
Oh,
Yeah. No, he did. He was able to create life with the Force. I don't think he was able to create Force sensitive life, but the Force reacted because Anakin bringing balance to the Force wasn't about killing Jedi. It wasn't about killing Sith. It was about killing the people tweaking the Force to their desires. Okay, being the Jedi tweaked the Force
well,
to their
Sidious wasn't
desire.
doing that.
Uh, Sidious and Plagueis both were tweaking the Force to their desire.
The Jedi did not. They did whatever
They
they
tweaked it
did.
to what
What?
they thought it was supposed to be.
No, they never tweaked it. They never messed with the Force.
Yeah, they saw
How
the it didn't tweak the Force directly like Palpatine and Plagueis,
Yeah, they were
but
trying to fucking create
they thought
Force
the
sensitive
Force
beings.
they thought the Force was meant to be one way and one way only. And the
Plagueis was
Force
still.
isn't
I
meant to
mean,
be one way. The Force is meant to be
Palpatine
used
was
like a
still trying
tool
to create
to
clones.
flow through the life. That's why Anakin was created
He was created to stop. Yeah,
to
he's
stop the
created to stop.
manipulators.
Uh, yeah,
Because
which
Jedi,
which is the Sith. George Lucas has said this multiple times.
but the Jedi, the check it out. The
They even
Jedi
refer. Hold on, hold
didn't.
on.
Hold on, let me
Plagueis
finish.
even hold on. Plagueis even referred to the dark side as a wave. He even referred to it as the wave.
But they even specified that what the Jedi fuck up at is they only use and see and value the Force as being calm, being at peace. But you're not
The
utilizing the
Force,
entire Force.
the Force. If you know the backstory of the Jedi, you would know that the Force created the Jedi. They created the Tho Yor, which the
The
Celestials.
Jedi.
Yeah, the Celestials sent out the Tho Yor, which the
Hmm.
Celestials are like the beings of the whatever. Well, they sent out the Tho Yor to pick up everybody. Once they gathered them, they pulled them to this one world that if you were off balance of the Force, it would cause massive force storms.
Yeah.
But the
But
only reason they switched to the Jedi version was because after they found people that were only using the dark side, it corrupted some of their people. So they decided we can't use this dark side if it's going to end up corrupting them if we ever get in another war like this.
the Jedi wasn't using the full range of the Force. They're
And
just
that's why
using
they
part of
became
it.
the Jedi. Yeah, they're only using part of
The
it. That's
Council
because
is that's
they're
right. They're only
they're
using part of the
because
Force.
whenever you're manipulating the Force, that's one thing. But if you're just using the Force, like letting it flow through you, like you're being used by the Force. The
Right.
Sith are trying to use the Force.
Right. And the Jedi are guiding the Force.
Yes.
See, but
Well, they're
the
not
Force,
guiding. They're not really. The Force is guiding them. You have. They even say, just listen to the Force. It'll guide you.
right?
The
But
Force will
okay,
guide
what do you
you.
think they do when Yoda sits there and meditates on the Force? What do you think he's
Well,
doing?
he watches situations that could happen, but he never reacts on any of them because he doesn't know if they're actually going to do anything or not. So he
So
might
in
see
episode two,
he might
when
see a
he's at the front
possibility.
lines, hold on. When
He might
in
see a
episode two,
possibility, but
when
he
he's at
doesn't
the
react on it.
in episode two, when he's at the front lines, and he senses that Anakin and Obi-Wan are in trouble through the Force, he doesn't react on that.
No, not just that. Well, that's different. Like I said before, the Jedi were brought by the Celestials, which is who pretty much controls the Force, and they work for the Force. They don't try and
And the Jedi,
make the Force work for them.
check this out. So the council is on Coruscant. The Coruscant people there are all corrupt. Everybody's dirty. In some
Yep.
way, shape, or form. Everybody's dirty in some way, shape, or form. And you have the Jedi there. I'm just saying, like, it's a dirty place. I think the Jedi needed to be wiped out, and the Sith needed to be wiped out.
You're right. You're right about that.
To bring
But
balance to the Force.
George Lucas does not say that. And the only reason everything got so corrupt is because you had the dark side pulling strings.
But the dark side wasn't pulling strings on Coruscant.
They were.
Not for 1,000 years.
No, not for 1,000 years. And you know what? Everything was peaceful. Everything was peaceful until Palpatine started making everything not peaceful.
Well, that's how it had to be.
There are stuff. If you there are books out now that Disney's taken over. It's called the High Republic, and you can read those, which is like 200 years, I think, before the events of BBY. So there's a bunch of stuff that happens there because there's like pirates and other stuff out there, but there's not like Force users that are so powerful that can kill everything.
Well, I mean, Vitiate.
Vitiate was a bad guy. I still don't know how he dies. I'm gonna have to do his story at some point. Revan's story does not cover that, but you can't, dude. I can't wait. Do you want to know how he gets his mask?
I know how he gets his mask.
You know how Revan gets his mask?
Yes. Not the first time, but when he has his mind wiped from the Jedi to break the
how does
whole,
he actually get his mask?
the first time?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do.
Okay, good. Anyways, so
Do you want to know?
no,
Okay. Are you gonna listen to my story
possibly.
when it comes out?
Possibly.
Better. Jesus Christ.
But
They're good, guys. They're so good.
But yeah, man. So I was just saying, like, that was cool that the Force brought birth to Anakin. Like, that's just cool. I always assumed that. I know you said it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I always assumed it was Palpatine or Sidious.
No. Yeah. But yeah, I know.
And I
yeah.
didn't realize that Sidious didn't have so much strings to pull as much as I thought he did. I thought Sidious pulled the whole fucking thing. No, it was actually...
It's all fucking Plagueis, dude. Plagueis fucking set this guy up. And then he was like, Zap.
No more.
Choke, motherfucker. No, I'm kidding.
But Palpatine does tell Plagueis that he gave him the ideas to have his own ideas, right? But really it came from Palpatine. So it says in the book. I don't know. That's like right when he's killing them.
Right.
So, I mean, how much of that's really true?
Dude. He says, I am in trying to make yourself live forever. You have accidentally made the most powerful Sith or some bullshit like that.
And he's not even the most powerful. Lord Vitiate would probably fucking smite him
Dude,
down.
there's so many more powerful. Bane was way stronger than Palpatine. I'm sorry, but like it went from killing your master. Like Xana beat Bane fair and square.
I don't
Bane
know
got
that.
a little
Shut
bit
up.
old.
Shut up.
Oh,
I didn't read that book.
Why have you not finished it yet? Don't you own it?
We were supposed to do it together.
Yeah, well, we never fucking did, and you never
know.
fucking. I don't think you want to. We can go over
I
it like
do
this
want
if you
to.
want to.
I do want to, but
We can do this right here. You know what
like
I'm saying?
this on that third book.
Yeah, just like this. Yeah.
Okay.
I own it. You own it. Let's do it next week.
Possibly. We'll see. But one last thing before we shut the book down here. It says Safa Diaz told Dooku that if he ever wanted to instigate dissent, that he would be one step ahead of him. Clone troopers.
What?
And at the end of the book, in the epilogue,
Yeah.
he told Dooku that if he ever because Dooku left the order, right? He told Dooku that if he ever wanted to instigate dissent, meaning like create chaos and fucking tear shit up.
You need to read their Dooku book.
but that's what it said. It's basically insinuating that Sifo-Dyas did pull the trigger on the order himself. Because in
Well,
episode 2, we learned that Dooku, Lord Tyranius,
you could
hired
say
Boba
that,
Fett
but
or Jango
read,
Fett.
yeah, just read the Dooku book.
Okay.
The Dooku book, I think, is actually canon though, which sucks because like it kind of like corresponds, but they also make it to where it kind of fits. If it's, you'll see.
Okay.
Sifo-Dyas doesn't seem just as crazy. Like in the Dooku book, he seems fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
But you can see why if actually after you listen to that, then you listen to the way some of the things that Sifo-Dyas says
Mm-hmm.
in this book, you'll be like, I guess it's kind of like the same person.
Okay. Wait, you ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
You want?
Here we go.
Are we getting out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Take us out of here, buddy.
All right. Hey, thanks for stopping by and watching our show. If you liked it, please drop a subscribe. It helps us out. Yeah, I mean, even like it if you don't want to subscribe. Just like it. Uh,
Like, comment down below.
Tell us your favorite parts of the story or what we nerded out on, or tell us something that we don't know or didn't talk about, maybe. Let us know. Yeah, I'm Tater Nuts. He's Clinton.
Yeah. If you ever want to, I like to play video games. I will stream it if I play, but I'm usually working on my Star Wars stories, which I do throughout the week. It just takes me a while. I only get a few hours to do it, okay? Don't yell at me. I understand. But I'm going over the Revan book, which I should be doing the Mandalorians now that I'm doing the Revan book, but it doesn't matter. You guys have fun, be safe, and get the fuck out of here.
Peace.